U.S. bishops had a day of closed-door meetings in Baltimore Thursday and are now heading back to their dioceses. It was a busy week where some headlines were made. Here's a recap. The bishops elected a new president and vice president. They helped 3 American women get one step closer to sainthood. They unveiled some new plans for a pilgrimage to the Eucharistic Congress. And in this midterm election year, the bishops discussed how they can guide Catholics when they hit the polls.
Welcome, brothers.
Just like the rest of the country, elections seem to take center stage at the USCCB's Fall General Assembly. The bishops discussed how to help Catholics vote with their conscience, but they didn't make any major changes to their faithful citizenship document.
All right, so Archbishop Timothy Broglio is the new president of the country.
They did, however, make changes to their leadership. The bishops elected Archbishop Timothy Broglio from the U.S. Archdiocese for the Military Services as their new president. Afterwards, Broglio said while he doesn't see his role as a political one, he does look forward to meeting with political leaders in the U.S.
If there is any way to insert the gospel into all aspects of life in our country, I certainly will not miss any occasion to do that.
Here's an occasion you won't want to miss. The USCCB is planning a pilgrimage to the National Eucharistic Congress in Indianapolis in July of 2024. It's the culmination of the Eucharistic Revival, launched earlier this year to raise awareness of the real presence in the communion.
What is the heart of this movement, which is a movement that we seek to invite people to a transforming encounter with Jesus in the Eucharist so that they might be healed, formed, unified, and sent on mission. This is really what we're all about.
They were so impressed with the missions of 3 American women that the bishops voted to advance their causes for sainthood. We also heard from outgoing President Archbishop Jose Gomez of Los Angeles, who talked about the unity of the bishops during some tumultuous times of his tenure, the pandemic, the overturning of Roe v. Wade, and a worldwide refugee crisis.
Through it all, dear brothers, I've been inspired by your faithfulness, by your love for Jesus Christ and our people, and by your fraternity and fellowship as we seek to carry out our Lord's calling.
Going back to the Eucharistic Congress in 2024, 80,000 Catholics are expected to attend, and registration will open next spring. National correspondent for the Tablet and Crux, John Lavenburg, has been with the bishops all week. He's just back from Baltimore and joins us now. Hi, John.
Hi, Christine.
So glad to have you back here. Thanks for all your work you've been doing. So they really have big plans for this Eucharistic Congress, a pilgrimage starting in 4 different areas of the country and ending at the big event in Indiana. But it's not the first time that a Congress like this has been held, right?
It's not, and that's something that was really fascinating when Bishop Cousins says it, because I didn't know it either. But the first one was 1926, and so from 1926 to 1976, they had 9 of them. And now they're having the 10th, and that's part of the reason why this is so big and grand, because though it's the 10th, it's been 50 years. It's been a long time since they have had one in the U.S.
Yeah, sure. That's why a lot of us don't remember them at all. The bishops also took a look at their voting guide for Catholics, the document Faithful Citizenship. Bishop Nicholas DiMarzio, emeritus of the Diocese of Brooklyn, shared his opinions. Let's listen to what he had to say.
It's so important that we understand a new political phenomenon in our own country, the division. And if we don't speak to that, I don't think we're going to get anybody's attention, and we're not going to form their conscience.
So they didn't make any big changes. What's next?
They didn't, and it's important to note that what Bishop DiMarzio said, that was a sentiment issued by a number of bishops that got up and spoke. But in the end, what they voted to do was essentially they're going to reissue the document as is, and they're going to add an introductory insert to it that talks about Pope Francis's most recent teachings and policy changes that may have taken place in the U.S. And they'll issue that ahead of the 2024 election, and then after the election, they said they're going to re-examine the document as a whole, and that's when we could see the potential for wholesale changes to what we have before us in this document.
All right, so that gives them a little time. This was exciting. 3 American women are one step closer to sainthood after the bishops advanced their causes. Some of them shared personal testimony at this time, right?
Yeah, and it was one of the brightest spots of the entire conference, because, you know, the bishop of the diocese that's bringing forward the cause goes up and they present the cause, and just naturally, you know, one person gets up and they say, this person meant so much to me becoming a priest, me taking this vocation. And it kind of got the ball rolling of for each one of them, a number of bishops got up and spoke and talked about how important these 3 women were to their own priesthood and to the Catholic Church. So it was just a beautiful thing, and each one got a roaring, not a roaring ovation, but they all got a big vocal approval. Overwhelming majority wanted these causes to continue.
Oh, that's really nice. And now, even though you're back, the conference continued today behind closed doors. Why do the bishops have private meetings?
It's something they really started doing last year on Monday. They have that first day where they meet together, they pray, they reflect, and that's where they talk about a lot of these things, meet in small dialogue, small groups, and that's where a lot of bishops, some of them told me a lot of them are more comfortable in that setting, talking about issues and getting things done. So they have another day at the end this year to talk about those things in private, and I imagine they'll be doing a lot of the same in a synodal manner, if you will, as we're doing all around the country, talking together.
The round tables.
Exactly, the round
right?
tables, yep, sitting together and talking in a way where they're facing each other to really get to the heart of what needs to be done to better move forward the church in the U.S.
All right, sounds like an exciting week. John Lavenburg, national correspondent for the Tablet and Crux, thanks so much for your reporting this week.
Thank you, Christine.
To find out more about the sainthood causes of Mother Margaret Mary Healy Murphy, Cora Evans, and Michelle Dupont, go to thetablet.org. You can also read other articles on all the topics covered this week in Baltimore. Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti, anchor of Currents News. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button on this video. And if you want to see more content just like it, subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, because we are putting your faith in the news.